The information in this video should not be relied upon as a formal valuation for any of the featured computers, and no responsibility is taken for how the viewer may use or misuse this information. Whilst every effort has been made to confirm the accuracy and validity of source data used in the compilation of this report, there may be errors and/or omissions. This video may also contain my honest personal opinion. Prices quoted in this video are based on sold listings on ebay.com.au for a specified period, are in Australian dollars, and may be indicative of the Australian retro computing market at the time of publishing. This is the AusRetroComp Australian Retro Computing Market Report for April 2020. In this video, I'll be presenting a snapshot of the most popular retro computers on ebay.com.au during the month, followed by a longer-term look at a number of machines that regularly appear on the Australian market. Finally, I'll be taking a look at 3 of the more interesting machines to change hands during April. Starting with the Commodore 64 market, I've taken a look at bare 64 listings only, and have excluded listings where a 64 is bundled with other major items such as a 1541 floppy drive or a monitor. Working 64Cs averaged around $184, with prices ranging from $149 to $250 each depending on condition, with just one non-working 64C selling for $140. 2 working bread bins sold in April, giving an average of $182.50. Non-working bread bins average $140 apiece, though it should be noted that the 2 lowest priced parts bread bins sold in a lot of 2 for a total of $255, or $127.50 each. It's also worth noting that the total Commodore 64 volume for April was down by almost 60%, with just 11 bare units changing hands versus 26 in March. Moving to the Amiga market, and Amiga 500 sales volumes and prices were relatively stable across March and April. 7 Amiga 500s changed hands in April, with working models averaging around $321 apiece, prices ranging from $250 to $400 based on condition, with non-runners averaging $245. It is worth noting that one of the non-runners sold for $306.52, with 3 working machines selling for less. Make of that what you will. I'll be taking a look at another Amiga variant later in this video. The Mac market is pretty wide and varied, so I've chosen to focus on 2 particularly popular models that change hands on a regular basis, being the Macintosh Plus and the iMac G3. In April, the average Macintosh Plus price for working units was $240 and around $116 for parts. Individual prices varied depending on included accessories. The most expensive working Mac Plus sold for $330 and included a working external hard drive and an aftermarket carry case. iMac G3 sale prices averaged $206.75 for working G3s and $64.50 for non-working. Please note that when assessing iMac G3s, I classify any unit that sells without a keyboard and/or a mouse as a parts machine, even if the machine itself still powers up. Whilst compatible USB keyboards and mice are easy enough to come by, the completeness of an iMac G3 with original keyboard and mouse, especially when in the same colour as the main unit, is considerably more desirable in my opinion as a collector. This may go some way towards explaining why a G3 with keyboard and mouse can fetch over triple the money of a G3 unit on its own. Looking at longer term markets, for the 3-month period from the 1st of February through to the 30th of April 2020, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum ranged from $159 to $180 based on 3 sales. Tandy TRS-80 Cocos have been changing hands for between $152.50 and $250 each, depending on condition and accessories. Texas Instruments TI-99 4As have traded within a fairly narrow band of between $120 and $130 each, with little difference between the classic black and silver models and the later beige items. Apple IIe and Apple IIcs have sold for anywhere between $229 and $415, depending on condition and accessories. That said, there was one cheaper option available in April, more on that later. Dick Smith VZ200s and VZ300s ranged from $147.50 to $250 each, depending on condition. It should be noted that the lowest priced examples were sold in a lot of 2 that fetched $295, representing a per unit price of $147.50. In Atari STs, there were 4 sales over the last 3 months, ranging between $200 and $375 each, with a top dollar item being a 1040 ST in excellent condition that also included a monitor. One machine that is regularly traded and warrants a closer look is the Amiga 600. With 7 changing hands over the past 3 months, approximately 1 Amiga 600 has been traded for every 3 Amiga 500s over the same period. Amiga 600 prices appear somewhat higher than the 500, ranging from $363 to $700 each. The sub $400 sales were bare bones units in original condition. Recapped machines sold for $410 and up. At the top end of the market is this enthusiast special. Upgrades including a Furia EC020 accelerator, 2MB chip RAM, 10MB fast RAM, 4GB CF IDE drive, and PC MCIA Wi-Fi make this a very desirable machine. With restoration work including recapping and a new keyboard membrane, along with an apparent retro brighting, this is, in my opinion, right on the money. Possibly the most interesting part of the Australian retro computing market right now is that of the Australian-made Micro-B. In the last couple of months, B prices have soared, with recent sales occurring between $404 and $670 for bare units without any extras, along with a Series 2 APC with dual 5.25-inch floppy drives selling for around $1,000 at the end of March. Given that Micro-Bs were selling for as little as $200 at the start of 2020, this price surge poses some questions. Is this the start of a long-term trend, or is this just a bubble driven by one over-enthusiastic Micro-B collector? If you're looking to buy or sell a Micro-B, it may be worth keeping a close eye on eBay in the coming months. Moving on to some of the more interesting machines to change hands during April, this Commodore SX64 sold for $699 by it now after 5 days on eBay. This machine powers up and includes the notoriously hard to find proprietary keyboard cable, but the keyboard itself appears to need work. Whilst relatively common on overseas online marketplaces, the SX64's rarity on Australia is reflected in this example meeting the seller's expectations within a reasonable timeframe. This Fujitsu FM Towns 2MX is a Japanese domestic market computer powered by an Intel 486 DX266. It's in very good condition with original boxes and polys, along with manuals in Japanese. It's a relatively rare machine in Japan, and even rarer still down under, attracting a winning bid of $1,000. Finally, this Laser 128 sold for $216.45, with original boxes and polys on a 4 parts or repair only basis. The seller disclosed that the machine starts up with a black screen, which could be anything from capacitor issues to blown chips. Either way, it shouldn't take much for the right buyer to bring this rare and interesting Apple II clone back to life. As this is a completely new format for me, and I didn't intend on making these sorts of videos when I first started this channel, feedback would be appreciated. Should I revisit the Aussie retro computing marketplace on a regular basis? Is there anything I've missed, bearing in mind that I can only report on machines that have actually sold during a specific period? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. Honestly, I don't know if these calls to action actually make a difference, but all the cool kids are doing it. Until next time, see you later.